Remember what I told you, right?
Yeah.
What?
It's grown man business.
From the very beginning, the tension between 50 Cent and the Harris family wasn't just simmering. It was bubbling like a pot left on high heat with nobody watching it. The feud had history, shade, petty jabs, and enough generational ego to fuel an entire Zeus reunion special. But this time, this wasn't just a back-and-forth exchange. This was gasoline meets match energy. Triggered by one reckless move King Harris probably regrets with every breath he takes, the saga truly began when fans noticed King Harris stepping into grown man drama long before he earned his spot in that arena. He talked slick online, responded to trolls like he was auditioning for a love and hip-hop role, and randomly inserted himself into situations that didn't require his presence. The internet treated him like a teenage wildcard with a Wi-Fi connection and too much confidence. And unfortunately for him, 50 Cent is the last person you test out your grown man talk on for months. They exchanged subtle jabs, each one escalating the storyline like an episodic soap opera. King Harris would make bold comments, and 50 would respond with a type of dry, lethal humor that ruins careers in under 10 minutes. Fans knew 50's trolling wasn't play. The man has a 2-decade history of dragging celebrities like it's an Olympic sport. So when King Harris started poking him again, the entire internet whispered the same warning. Don't do this, lil bro. Don't do this. But fate had other plans. A mysterious folder of leaked files suddenly hit the timeline. Embarrassing photos, incriminating screenshots, voice notes that should have never seen daylight, and personal details that made fans scream, throw phones, and clutch invisible pearls. Nobody knew where they came from, but King Harris's name was stamped on them louder than a front row seat ticket. People were scrolling with one hand and covering their mouths with the other, unable to process the level of humiliation unfolding in real time. Once the files spread, the internet detonated instantly. Memes formed within seconds. Reaction videos flooded TikTok like a tsunami. Bloggers sprinted to their keyboards as if they were covering a national emergency. The files didn't just embarrass King Harris. They exposed layers of him the public didn't even know existed. It was like watching a character arc collapse in slow motion with dramatic theme music playing behind it. 50 Cent saw the chaos and reacted exactly how the culture expected, with the enthusiasm of a man given free entertainment and unlimited roasting rights. He didn't wait. He didn't hesitate. He didn't verify anything. He jumped online faster than federal agents tracking a stimulus scam. His first post was subtle but devastating, the kind of laugh emoji that cuts deeper than a paragraph-long insult. People knew immediately. 50 was preparing his digital FLAMETHROWD true explosion came later. As fans argued about the files, King Harris attempted to downplay everything, hopping online with confused energy, trying to explain, deflect, or pretend he wasn't bothered. But the cracks showed instantly. His demeanor screamed embarrassment. His tone wobbled. His facial expressions betrayed him. Screens were being recorded faster than he could speak. He wasn't in control of the moment. He was spiraling inside it. And then 50 Cent posted again. This time, he didn't hold back. He reacted to the files with ruthless clarity, calling out the absurdity, mocking the details, and using punchlines sharp enough to slice through titanium. He compared King Harris's behavior to reality TV kids trying too hard for camera time. He roasted him so creatively that even people who didn't like 50 had to admit the man has a gift. The internet treated the post like scripture, reposting it, quoting it, turning it into memes, and adding dramatic soundtracks. Meanwhile, behind all the laughter was an obvious truth. King Harris was in deep trouble because 50 Cent wasn't dragging him for attention. He wasn't dragging him for clout. He was dragging him because he genuinely felt disrespected. And when 50 feels disrespected, the man becomes a cultural superweapon. Fans went wild analyzing the files, creating timelines, comparing reactions, and piecing together the bigger story like digital detectives on a caffeine rush. The scandal swallowed social media whole, drowning out celebrity news, political discourse, and even sports updates. This wasn't just trending, it was dominating. King Harris tried to clap back at one point, But his response lacked fire. It lacked confidence. It lacked strategy. It was like watching someone try to fight a dragon with a plastic spoon. 50's fanbase ate him alive. The comments weren't supportive. They were brutal, comedic, and unforgiving. People dragged him for hours, repeating the same sentiment over and over. You picked the wrong one. 50 continued roasting with expert timing, dropping comments so smoothly they felt handwritten by comedy writers. He referenced King Harris's lifestyle, his social media presence, and the leaked files all in one breath. He didn't need long paragraphs. He destroyed him with one-liners sharp enough to slice. Internet culture in half. The build-up reached peak intensity when fans noticed 50 had posted a cryptic message. It wasn't loud. It wasn't detailed. It was short, but sinister. It hinted there was more tea, more shade, more leaks. More embarrassment waiting in the shadows, the moment 50 Cent dropped that cryptic tease. The internet didn't just react, it ignited, blowing up faster than a Zeus reunion brawl where security gives up before the fight even starts. People didn't know whether to laugh, scream, hide, or take notes. All they knew was that 50 wasn't finished. And King Harris was standing in the middle of a digital battlefield with no armor, no backup, and absolutely no idea how badly this was about to escalate. Every social platform turned into a war zone. TikTok creators stitched 50's roast like it was a new national anthem. Reaction pages recreated the leaked files with reenactments so dramatic they looked like low-budget movie trailers. Twitter, or X, collapsed under meme pressure. People photoshopped King Harris into disaster scenarios, courtroom scenes, witness protection promos, and even WWE entrances where he walked into the ring only to immediately get code by 50 Cent with one comment. Celebrities started jumping in too. Because messy drama is the oxygen of Hollywood. Rappers who hadn't tweeted in months suddenly returned from the digital dead just to drop laughing emojis. Comedians cracked jokes. Reality stars posted cryptic shade like, "Some people need to stay in a child's place." Even producers made jokes about creating a documentary titled, "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong, The King Harris Files." And while the internet roasted King Harris, 50 Cent was having the time of his life. He responded to memes like a proud father watching his children succeed. He reposted jokes with the confidence of a man who never loses an online fight.
He even threw in random GIFs just to add fuel to the fire.
Everything he posted became a new meme template. Everything he typed turned into another cultural moment.
He wasn't trolling, he was conducting the chaos like a seasoned orchestra director of pettiness. Meanwhile,
King Harris attempted a comeback, but it was like watching someone try to sprint through quicksand. He went live with that shaky confidence influencers get right before they apologize for something they clearly aren't sorry for. He blamed trolls, denied leaking certain files, and insisted people did too much. But every sentence he finished was instantly ripped apart by commenters who weren't buying a single syllable. It wasn't a clapback, it was a breakdown. As the drama spiraled, more leaks started surfacing from every direction. Some were real, some were questionable, some were so embarrassing people assumed they had to be AI-generated nightmares. But the internet didn't care. They devoured every new file like hungry wolves. And the more the leaks spread, the louder 50 Cent's reactions became. At one point, he compared the leaks to a season of Power where the writers got bored and started taking everyone out. Fans lost IT, they screenshot that line so fast their phones practically overheated. They quoted it, posted it, printed it. It became the official slogan of the meltdown. Even people who didn't care about the feud joined in because the comedy was simply too elite to ignore. But while everyone laughed, King Harris wasn't fine. His tone shifted. His posts got defensive. He started throwing subs at 50, talking about respect, real men, legacy, and how people don't know the full story. But the problem was simple. Nobody wanted the full story. They wanted entertainment, and unfortunately, King Harris was unintentionally supplying it in bulk. Then came the moment that turned the feud from messy to historic. 50 Cent dropped a line that froze the entire timeline. "Don't make me release the rest." No emojis. No hashtags. No jokes. Just pure, unfiltered threat energy. The internet collectively screamed. People begged him to drop the files. Others begged him not to, claiming they weren't mentally prepared for round 2. Members begged for a countdown. Bloggers started drafting articles titled "The Day 50 Cent Broke the Internet." Again, it was digital insanity. And right when the chaos reached peak insanity, T.I. stepped in. Not fully, just indirectly. Rumors swirled that he privately called King Harris, urging him to stand down. Fans speculated he told him to stop poking a man who treats trolling like martial arts. Some claimed he warned that 50 had more dirt than a construction site. Nothing was confirmed, but the speculation alone was enough to shake timelines. Meanwhile, 50 Cent continued posting like he hadn't just threatened a cultural earthquake. He roasted King Harris's music, confidence, behavior, and even the lighting in his videos. Nothing was safe. Nothing was off limits. The fans treated every post like a new episode of an unhinged reality show. Then another twist hit, a new leaked audio clip allegedly of King Harris discussing 50 Cent surfaced. It made him look defensive, irritated, and outmatched. The internet ran with it like Olympic sprinters. They created remixes. They created animations. They turned it into a joke so big it reached other countries. Trend lists. The backlash became global. While the storm intensified, 50 sat comfortably in the center of it, sipping metaphorical tea and posting memes that made the situation worse for King Harris with every swipe, tap, and upload. The tension reached maximum pressure when 50 posted a photo with the caption, "As soon as 50 Cent posted that wicked little smile." The entire internet entered what experts call global clown mode. Everyone was refreshing like they were trying to win a PS5 giveaway. Fans, haters, bloggers, reaction pages, everybody waited for the next drop like their rent depended on it. And the wildest part? 50 didn't post another file, another meme, or another joke.
He logged off, fully, quietly, peacefully, like a villain walking away from a burning
building without looking back. That silence alone caused a panic the culture hadn't seen in years. Comment sections turned hysterical. People wrote dissertations under his posts begging him to return. Some begged him not to drop anything else because they feared what nuclear-level embarrassment could do to King Harris. Others started predicting doomsday scenarios. Because in the world of 50 Cent, silence isn't a break. Silence is strategy. King Harris, meanwhile, was drowning in backlash thicker than cement. Every hour brought new memes, new edits, new commentary videos dragging him from Atlanta to the ends of the internet. His demise turned into a battlefield. His comments became a public comedy club where he was accidentally the main act. Even neutral fans started admitting that maybe, just maybe, picking a fight with a trolling legend wasn't the brightest idea, and then came the emotional fallout. Not the angry kind. The humiliating kind. Clips surfaced of King Harris pacing on IG Live, frustration creeping into his voice as he tried to explain himself.
He said the files were misunderstood. He said people were exaggerating. He said 50 was obsessed.
But his tone cracked every few sentences. It was clear he was overwhelmed, trying to fight a battle he no longer understood. And because the internet never sleeps, those cracks were instantly turned into memes. Meanwhile, the Harris family felt the ripple effect. Ty, who spent decades building a respected legacy, found himself dragged into chaos he never asked for. Fans posted old interviews, dissected family dynamics, and dragged the entire household into a narrative that was supposed to be about leaked files, not lineage. Even Tiny started trending as people speculated about how she felt, watching her son turn into 50's newest comedy project. But the biggest shift came from the industry. Producers who once encouraged King Harris's rising music career suddenly went quiet. Promoters stopped reposting him. Brands that previously saw him as a growing influencer hesitated. The entertainment world loves confidence but hates liabilities, and King Harris looked like a PR disaster waiting to happen. Opportunities paused. Conversations stalled. The ripple became a wave. On the other hand, 50 Cent's momentum skyrocketed. His posts went viral. His brand engagement spiked. His petty reputation went from legendary to untouchable. People who weren't even fans of him tuned in daily just to see if he'd strike again. Even celebrities who disliked him in the past begrudgingly admitted the man knows how to turn drama into gold. The strangest development came from fans who started treating 50 like the internet's unofficial disciplinary father. People joked that he was restoring order, humbling influencers, and putting disrespectful youth back in their place. It was comedic, but it reflected the cultural shift. 50 wasn't being viewed as a bully. He was being viewed as a necessary villain. As the drama reached peak saturation, something unexpected happened. King Harris's closest friends began distancing. They stopped tagging him, stopped defending him, stopped appearing on his lives. One even tweeted, "Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way," which fans immediately interpreted as confirmation that King Harris had stepped far outside his lane. The isolation grew quickly, creating an emotional weight he could no longer hide behind. Jokes or bravado. Then came the breaking point. During a late-night stream, King Harris finally addressed the situation with energy completely different from before.
His voice was low, his shoulders slumped, his tone tired.
He admitted, indirectly, that he felt alone, that the internet hated him, that the situation spiraled far beyond what he expected. And while he didn't fully take responsibility, he let the mask slip just long enough for viewers to see fear behind the frustration. The clip went viral instantly. Not because people felt sympathy, but because they knew 50 hadn't even dropped the rest yet. That looming threat hovered over every conversation like a storm cloud ready to explode. But then, the twist nobody expected, 50 Cent returned. A respectful one. One that suggested he wanted to talk man-to-man before anything escalated further. The internet erupted like a volcano. People yelled. People cried. People wrote essays. People created conspiracy threads longer than college applications. This wasn't about King Harris anymore. This was about two titans, one comedic, one legendary, trying to prevent a digital war from becoming a real one. And if your head is still spinning from everything we just unpacked, don't worry, you are absolutely not alone. This feud didn't just shake the internet, it rearranged it like furniture in a Zeus reunion fight. And with 50 Cent and T, I now inches away from a real grown man conversation. The next chapter is sitting on the edge of a cliff, dangling its legs, waiting to kick somebody straight into the algorithm again. So before you sprint to the comments to pick a side, cry, drag, debate, or write a thesis paper nobody assigned you, do me a favor, smash that like button like you're trying to separate 50 from his phone at 3 a.m. Hit it the same way. King Harris wishes he hit delete before those files leaked. Break that button like it owes you rent. Drop a comment too, because I know you've got opinions. Is 50 about to unleash part 2, the files strike back? Is T.I. going to pull dad rank and end this whole storyline overnight? Or is King Harris about to walk into another round of memes he never emotionally prepared for? Put it all below. This comment section is about to look like a full courtroom with 0 judges and maximum chaos. And if you're new here, welcome to Fame Blueprint, where celebrity drama is studied like science, narrated like a Netflix docuseries, and delivered with more spice than 50 Cent's entire Instagram account. Make sure you subscribe, because missing the next episode of this saga would be more embarrassing than getting roasted by 50 in front of the whole internet. Hit that notification bell too. Ring it like you're announcing the rematch of the century. This is Fame Blueprint, signing off. And trust me, the next twist is already loading. The internet didn't just shake, it shattered when 50 Cent woke up, chose chaos, and unleashed an atomic-level clapback at King Harris after a batch of freshly leaked, painfully embarrassing files hit the timeline like a digital meteor. Nobody expected the day to start with a generational showdown, but the second those files surfaced, Twitter turned into a gladiator arena, and 50 marched in like the final boss holding a microphone and a grudge. Because let's be honest, 50 Cent is not a man you poke, bother, irritate, annoy, or breathe incorrectly near unless you're prepared to become the main character in his next viral roast. And King Harris, whether intentionally or by reckless curiosity, stepped directly into the flames. The moment he let those humiliating files slip into the public eye, the entire hip-hop world gasped, clutched pearls, grabbed popcorn, and yelled, "Oh, Nuu!" in unison like a live studio audience. Then came the explosion, a 50-cent masterclass in pettiness, precision, and poetic destruction. He hopped online, moving like a seasoned Zeus cast member with nothing left to lose. The sarcasm was sharp. The read was flawless. The aggression? Chef's kiss. The memes he spawned. Instant classics being screenshotted by teenagers, aunties, uncles, and grown men who should probably be at work. King Harris tried defending himself, but his responses hit the timeline like soggy French fries, weak, floppy, and completely unable to withstand 50's roast-level pressure. Meanwhile, the leaked files kept circulating, each more humiliating than the last, painting a picture of chaos that even the Kardashians would have hired a crisis management team to handle. But just when fans thought the drama had peaked, 50 dropped a cryptic message, a chilling tease that he wasn't done. That more was coming, that this was only the warm-up. More was coming, that this was only the warm-up.